Hello. It's been a long time. It feels good to be able to take a few minutes just to share a short practice with you. We'll see how this goes. So just take a moment, come up to a seat. If you don't already have a blanket and a couple of blocks within reach, go ahead and grab some blankets. And then find a comfortable, easy seat, legs crossed. You could elevate your sit bones up on a blanket or a block if that feels more comfortable, especially if it feels like a lot of work for the front of the hips to hold you upright. And then inhale and take your shoulders way up towards your ears. And as you exhale, draw them back. Feel your shoulder blades pull back and slide down. Maybe one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. And begin to deepen your breath. So your inhales fill from the bottom up. So feel for really moving your breath down into lower belly, lower back, and then up through rib cage and maybe chest. And the exhale returns your breath from the top back down to the bottom. And then the inhale fills. Really think about moving breath down into pelvic floor, belly, low back, rib cage. Continue to breathe like that. And if there's an intention or a dedication that you'd like to bring to practice, you can bring that to mind now. As you continue to breathe, feel your sit bones pressing down actively into the floor. Notice how that lengthens your spine. See if you can imagine your pubic bone and your tailbone also reaching down into the floor, even though they're not touching. And feel how that lengthens and supports your spine. And as your spine grows taller and maybe starts to feel a little stronger, can you soften the tissue? Relaxing the muscles on the face, getting soft through belly. Feel a softening in the muscles of the shoulders. And then go ahead and open your eyes. You continue to breathe a little deeper. Poor cat is starved for attention now that there's a baby in the house. Go ahead and grab a blanket. If you have a squishy round ball, you can use that instead. I actually often prefer the squishy ball. I just don't happen to have one with me right here. You're gonna fold up your blanket into a width that would fit about in between your sit bones, front hip points rather, and roll it up. You could maybe even fold it just once, or you could roll it up a little bit more. This is gonna go into the belly. This is the one thing I missed. I mean, there were many things that my body was not able to do while I was pregnant, but oh, how I longed for the belly bolster. So you're gonna put this right into your lower belly. It's gonna be below the navel, above the pubic bone. And you're gonna lie down. You could start out supported up on your forearms. And there's often a lot of tension in the abdomen. energetically, this is where a lot of our excitement hangs out, as well as our nerves, our stresses, that feeling in the pit of your stomach, or the butterflies. If, like me, you've had a C-section, there's also quite a bit of scar tissue and mobilization work that can benefit, or that the blanket can actually help with. And so you can gently rock your hips from side to side. You might feel some gas bubbles moving around, that's fine. And all your organs, they're all pretty liquid in there, so things will kind of slosh around as needed, slide around as needed. And you can stay upright, or you could fold forward, or release forward. Maybe bending the knees and windshield wiper the feet. The blanket is nice when you're working on that deep breath because it gives you a place to direct your breath into. So when you hear direct your breath into your lower belly, if that's hard for you to connect into, the blanket can make that a lot easier. Just feeling for pushing your breath right into the blanket. And then on your exhales, just do your best to, on exhale, let your belly relax over the blanket, and maybe the blanket sinks in a little deeper, which can feel, a little scary if this is intense, or if this is new to you. So maybe just each exhale, you let go a little bit more. Whatever you felt that you've had to brace against or protect yourself from, often those emotions are just hanging out here still. You can crawl back up onto your forearms, maybe bend a knee, reach back, grab a foot if you can. You can draw that foot in towards your hip, towards your seat. And then the other side. Back up to hands and knees, and then press back to your child's pose. Inhaling to hands and knees, and we'll come into a gentle twist from here. Inhale, take the right arm up and open. And then exhale, thread it under your left, coming down onto the shoulder. Feel both knees pressing down evenly into the floor, the tops of both feet pressing evenly into the floor. And you can either hold on to your right wrist with your left hand. You could bring tented fingers of the left hand down onto the floor outside the mat. And you could work on maybe straightening through that left arm any amount. Feel for almost dragging that right arm underneath you a little bit more, helping to turn your torso into the twist while maintaining the roots of your knees and your feet. more breath here. And then the left hand will come down to spin you out. Inhale, left arm up and open. And exhale, thread the needle, holding on to your left wrist or tent your right fingertips outside the mat. And you're straightening that right arm any amount. Think about a reaching back through your sit bones, through your pubic bone and tailbone, just like when we were anchoring into the floor in our first seat. And notice how that gives a little bit more length through the spine, which might make room for more twist. And then the right hand will come down and we'll unwind. A couple rounds of cat-cow here, inhaling. Open up the front side of the body. And exhaling to open up the back side of the body. And then we're going to set up for the breath work. For today, this is just going to be a quick 15-minute practice. So the breath work that I wanted to work through is bhramari breathing. And this is a breath that creates some really nice texture at the back of the throat and in the chest. Some nice vibrations that can really help to bring some ease into the nervous system. I was taught it as a comparison to a bee kind of buzzing their way back home. So we're going to set up in a reclined supported posture for the breath work. You could have two blocks, one on a short or medium height, and then this block, whatever height you need to support your head and neck. You could use a bolster on top of this as well. I'm just working with what I have in the room right now. So I'm going to take my blanket and instead of the fold that we did for the belly roll, I'm just going to roll it all the way up like this. Soles of the feet together, knees wide like this. Blanket's going to go over the tops of the ankles and then just tuck under the outer ankles, outer shins to support the legs. And then you're going to lie back. The lower block will be top corners of the block right behind the bottom, or right beneath the bottom two edges of your shoulder blades. And then again, that other block, whatever height you need to support your head and neck. You could rest hands on belly, on chest if you like, for just one more touch point on the vibrations that we're going to make. All you're going to do is take a breath in, and then on the exhale, hum it out. Now you're not worried about the tone, what it sounds like. We're not recording this to play to an audience. Well, I guess I am, but you guys are not. And so you're just going to keep that up over and over again, really playing around with how slowly you can hum out the exhale. And see how soft you can keep the muscles of your face as you breathe. See how soft you can keep your lips, your gums, your teeth, your tongue. Three more rounds here. And after your third round, you're going to stop creating the sound of your hum, but you'll exhale as if you're still humming without making the noise. So just as slowly, with just as much engagement in the back of the throat. And you'll take a couple of rounds like that. Feeling the echo of the sound. And notice where you sense that in your body. Roll to either side and come up to a seat. Sit bones, pubic bone, and tailbone pressing down to find the length. Taking a moment here to remember your intention or your dedication for your practice. Thank you so much.